So Doom, by id Software, including its sequels Doom 2, Final Doom, etc., ranks as probably my most played video game of all time. In all seriousness, barely a week has gone by the past decade when I haven't had a quick go of it at some point. I've played so much of Doom, as well as its countless and still growing number of custom levels and modifications, that not only do I dream about it more than occasionally, there have been moments where I've recalled playing a particular level and genuinely not being able to remember if it was an actual existing level or something my sleeping mind conjured up. In any case, Doom is, in no uncertain terms, iconic. Practically everyone of a certain generation would recognise Hangar, the game's opening level, in an instant. Quite why it's called Hangar, I've never been entirely sure because, well, clearly there's nowhere to put your coat. Though it wasn't the founding moment of the first-person shooter, the game was arguably the most pioneering of the genre, and undoubtedly the one that brought it to the forefront. I guess it appeals to me because, besides the broader and more obvious aspects, it's fast-paced, high-tension, got a great atmosphere, a memorable soundtrack, and a remarkable balance of run-and-gun action and puzzle-solving distilled into one stellar computer program, there's plenty of other, not necessarily smaller, but subtle details that are barely noticeable at a glance, but really do their bit to enhance the overall experience. Perhaps my favourite aspect of the game is its non-linearity, and its great potential for exploration. While there's usually a clear direction to take to progress, there are plenty of optional side routes and hidden areas scattered throughout the game. The existence of many of these is subtly hinted at via small, telltale features, for instance a wall that's differently textured, or a part of a wall that's slightly out of line with the rest of them, or a view of a lucrative power-up through a window, or even a tantalising glimpse of an item or passageway just in the corner of view. Sometimes an optional area is right there in plain sight, such as this area in the computer station, where you can find a few extra bits of ammo, few enemies, but nothing major. Or similarly, a room off to the right side at the start of this episode 2 level. Again, more monsters to kill and a few more ammo and health bonuses, but nothing necessary to beating the level, just a little something extra for nosy bastards like me. Much to the developers' credits, some of these are extremely well hidden. Even in the first episode of Doom, which I've played to cold death at this stage, there are secret areas that I only discovered weeks ago, and even then by only happening upon footage of them about YouTube and the like. There's one secret in the 5th level that isn't hinted at all. It contains a small item cache that includes, somewhat redundantly, the game's first auto map. Another thing that particularly fascinates me about Doom, and this isn't something I picked up on for quite some time, is the underlying tactical element to the combat. Different enemies are better tackled using different methods. This comes into play very prominently in Doom 2. For instance, the pink demons are best handled from a distance due to only having a melee attack. The flying tomatoes can be easily neutralised by the chain gun or plasma gun due to having a low pain threshold. Jabba the Hutt is best handled with a few blasts of the super shotgun due to its large size. Tactics also come into play on a somewhat subconscious level when facing a large number of different enemies, where you have to determine what the biggest threat is at any one time. If you're on low health, then the weaker zombies are a priority as their attacks land the very instant they launch, a mechanic more commonly referred to as hit scan. In other words, if they shoot and you're in their line of fire, you take the hit. There's no projectile to avoid like with, say, an imp's fireball, for example. The skeletons fire severely damaging homing missiles, but are thankfully relatively weak. Flying potatoes spawn flaming skulls a lot, but like the tomatoes have a low pain tolerance. The archvile is probably the most dangerous standard enemy due to its high health, low pain, one of the most damaging attacks in the game, and the ability to resurrect fallen monsters. It definitely ranks a solid 8 on my pain in the arseometer. It never ceases to amaze me how well Doom has stood the test of time in the face of evolving technology and innovation. The game has long had a thriving and enthusiastic modding community which still remains active today. Obviously the quality of these customizations can vary wildly, but this is a community that's taken the time to spawn numerous new goodies for Doom, not least new game engines and source ports. There's an inestimable number of new levels, music, enemies, weapons, and graphics, etc., but most impressive are the tweaks and adjustments that allow you to alter all manner of gameplay mechanics, as well as features that previously weren't possible in Doom, such as multi-story levels, in-game cutscenes, or even different gameplay styles and themes altogether. In conclusion, Doom is the business. If you've never played it before, even if like me you're not necessarily a fan of first person shooters, it's well worth grabbing the free 8-level shareware version and a source port such as Boom or Z-Doom and having a go. I promise you'll enjoy it, it's undoubtedly a piece of gaming heaven. Or hell, I suppose.